Hello and welcome back to my channel. For this card, I'm actually recreating one of my son's cards. To start with, I'm using this quilted heart backdrop die, and I am cutting out a black panel and a craft color panel. I am backing it with the same color panel, just slightly smaller. And now I am going to take my silver paint, this is a watercolor paint, and I am going to splatter my background. I'm mostly trying to concentrate it towards the top, as you will not see the bottom of this panel. Next, for my craft one, I'm using gathered twigs, distress oxide, and some water, and I'm going to splatter the panel, this one on the bottom. That wasn't dark enough, so I brought in some walnut stain instead. I still don't think it was quite dark enough, or maybe the dots weren't big enough. But anyway, I moved on. Now I am using some of the images from the Rarsome stamp set from Fawn. And my first dinosaur is going to be red. Like I said, this was a recreation of one of my son's cards. It was one that I think he did for a color throwdown challenge, and it was really cute. I actually thought it was one of his more interesting cards, I guess. I don't know. I don't really want to say it was more interesting than some of his others. It was just different. And I liked that about it. And I had told him before that I really liked it, but I don't think he believed me. So I figured if I recreate one of his cards, he would see, like, I actually liked it enough to take the time to recreate it. So I hope you guys also find this card interesting. Nothing special for the coloring. I'm doing what I normally do. Like I said, the colors were already picked out for me. If you wait till the end of the video, you will see a copy of his card that he had made. He does have an Instagram account. If anybody would like to follow him, I will leave the link in the description box below. My second dinosaur is pink. And these were roughly the same shades that he used for his dinosaurs. Moving on to my volcano, I am going to use some yellow underneath the red, and I'm going to use the same red colors that I used for my first dinosaur. I'm adding the yellow to keep it a little bit more bright. That way it doesn't look exactly like my dinosaur. And here I'm going from darkest to lightest, just trying to map out where I want my shadows. I added a little bit of extra ones at the top for a little bit more dimension. Now, on the same color craft cardstock that I used before, I have stamped my volcano and I am fussy cutting it out. I will be layering the colored volcano top, the lava. I'll be layering that on top of this. I wanted the volcano to have a similar color to the ground. I do go over all of the die cut pieces around the edges with this brush marker just to make sure that there's no weird looking spots from where I cut it weird. And now I'm just adding a little bit of shading along the volcano and a little bit of texture. I even add some dots. I just didn't want it to be too flat. Now I took my stitched hillside borders dies and I picked one of them and I cut out the bottom part of the craft cardstock panel. This will be layered over the black one and it'll be my ground. And now here I'm using these 3 colors and I'm just going to scribble all over these papers. I'm actually going to take a random small heart die that I have and I'm going to cut out hearts of all these colors. Now here you'll see this marker was kind of dry. I definitely need some refills. Okay, I don't actually have the hearts showing. I don't know where I got that heart die from. I don't know the brand or anything. It might have been a cheap one from somewhere that's not really branded. So any small heart dies you have will work. Alright, I have matted my main panel on a white panel and then a pink panel. And now I'm just going to adhere my images down. I'm actually using foam tape for my volcano, or at least the top of the volcano, just because there is some dimension from the ground being multiple layers of paper. And I do pop up my red dinosaur. Now I'm just figuring out where I want my little hearts. They are coming out of my volcano. My son had his kind of all over the card. I thought it was actually kind of cute the way he had it. I kept mine a little bit more concentrated, but that was just because I think I overthink things too much and I think he just kind of went with it. Alright, now I'm using my Lawn Fawn chili pepper ink. I think that's what it was. And I stamped my sentiment and I cut it out with a little white label. And then I was figuring out which 2 hearts I wanted to add above the dinosaurs because my son also had that in his card. Again, I opted for something slightly different than his, but it's still pretty true to his card. The final touches on my card would be me adding the shading underneath the dinosaurs so they look a little bit more grounded. I also add a little bit of glitter to the 2 hearts that are above the dinosaurs just to kind of separate them from the hearts that are coming from the volcano. And then finally I take my white gel pen and I make little tiny shine marks on the hearts that are coming out of the volcano. Again, to kind of separate it from everything else. And now my card is complete. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you liked this card. Stay till the end and you will see my son's card. And if you leave any comments about his card, I will let him know. I'll be back with another video soon. Bye!